give me some McDonald's. When you come back, I might remember something. Can you do that?
Oh yeah, Big Mac, fries, Coke.
Yeah.
Deal that set Gunna free, a major development in a huge racketeering case. The Atlanta-born rapper Gunna, whose given name is Sergio Kitchens, made a deal with prosecutors and
Mr. Mender is an ANC recidivist. The state did file a recidivist notice on December 9th of this year. If Mr. Mender was found guilty of all the counts in the indictment, he'd be looking at a maximum exposure of 50 years to serve in prison.
And now, could you explain the difference, I think, for Ms. I'm sure that Ms. Fagan has probably explained that to her client, but can you tell for the benefit of the record and for Mr. Mender's benefit, what potentially may happen if he were to be convicted of any of these particular counts? Like what would, under A or C?
Yes, if he's convicted of any of the counts, as an ANC recidivist, Mr. Mender, you would have to get the maximum amount on for that charge, and then whatever time the court gives you, which if it was to be the maximum, you have to spend every day door to door, which means you have to spend every day in custody.
You get no good time.
No.
It's a to-the-door sentence.
Yes, he would get any credit for a time served.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
But anything else would be a full sentence door to door.
So his max is 50 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what's the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer for Mr. Mender as to count 1 is 16 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served, with a balance of 15 years on probation. The state would offer that his probation could be terminated upon successful completion of the first 10 years of this sentence, provided that he violated no provisions of the agreement or no special conditions of the agreement, and that he violates no law of the state of Georgia. As to count 44, the state's recommendation is 5 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served, with a balance to be served on probation, concurrent with count 1. As to count 45, it would be 5 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served in confinement, commuted to time served, followed by 4 years on probation, concurrent with counts 1 and 44. And count 46 would be 16 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation, concurrent with count 1, 44, and 45. Will be the offer. Mr. Mender also is currently on another indictment, 21 SC 178250. And this case, as a part of the agreement, would run concurrent with that case whenever he resolved that other case, Your Honor.
Is that before me or before another division?
It is in this division currently, Your Honor, and that's being handled by ADA Lauren Jansen with the state.
Does he have bond on that case ending in 250?
I don't believe he has a bond on that case. No, he has a no bond status.
But on this case, he could go home today.
Correct. If he was given a bond, he would. This case, he would not have served any jail time on this case.
Okay.
And that offer will also conclude today, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Fagan, have you communicated that to your client in terms of is that to correctly summarize the plea agreement or the potential plea offer, I should say?
The only change was that he wasn't aware of the concurrent status for the second case. At this time, though, he still maintains a not guilty plea.
Sure.
Respectfully rejects the offer, and we announce ready for trial.
Okay, Mr. Mender, I'll tell you and I'll tell Mr. Beatty and Mr. Stevens the same thing, okay? At this point, you have the absolute right to plead not guilty, and that's what the law will presume, and the court will, of course, instruct that you have a presumption, and the presumptions and protections you enjoy as a criminal accused. You have to decide for yourselves what you want to do in this particular case, depending upon the results or the outcome of the trial. The only thing I would tell you, Mr. Mender, is the most, and I'm sure that Ms. Fagan, she's a very fine attorney. Seen her work. But trials, there's one thing about trials, it's uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen. So you gotta beat 4 counts. And if you don't beat them, what'll happen is, under this A and C recidivist statute, I have to, under the law, sentence you to the maximum sentence. And then whatever I sentence you to, you serve to the door. That's not anything I have any discretion over. It's not anything because I don't like you or because of what you're being charged with or whatever. Those have nothing to do with anything. That's what the state of Georgia, the legislature has mandated that I sentence you to. So one of the things a plea does is you know what you're getting. It caps your exposure. So, and what the state's telling you today is if you take the plea today, this is what you're going to get, and this is what I probably sentence you to, and you're done.